I feel superhuman. I can.
Scott Blakesley, and I first came to the 7 Steps back in July. And since that's taken place, some amazing things have obviously happened in my life. But first and foremost, out of the class I took is that I became much more aware of who I was in my surroundings. And number 2 is that there was just breakthrough in my vision. My vision was just flatlined for like the last 4 years of my life, and I was just like, it was kind of frustrating because I've always been a man of vision, and I've been an entrepreneur and businessman for the last 20-something years, and so that just came to a flat line. And so a friend of mine had mentioned to me, he said, you know, do you have a vision? I had no vision. So I went home that weekend and thought about it. I knew there was a problem because I said, Lord, what is it? And he showed me, but I didn't know how to get past it, really didn't. So in July, that just opened up the floodgates, and since that time, if some of you have been on the money phone calls each week, you know, the doors open up for me for this next year for anywhere from $5.5 to $10 million in business. And then I've also started working on developing a product line to release. And so I just got my labels back this last week from an artist, so that's amazing as well. And so I just made some other acquisition deals in these last couple of months. So anyways, what's taking place is that I've been aware of my surroundings and also attracted those individuals as well. But I'm also much more conscious of those business opportunities around me, and just establishing friendships and developing relationships. And then also just working with 7 Steps, so pro bono with about 4 different individuals right now. So that's been amazing, with a real estate broker, another cinematographer, and a bodybuilder, and then a student. And then I yesterday happened to tap into a couple other opportunities with an athlete and a mom. So anyway, so that's what's taken place since July.
All right, can I ask you a couple questions? Give him a big hand. So how does the $5.5 to $10 million of business next year compare to how you've been doing so far?
You know, it's been sporadic, but not at that level ever. Okay? The most I've ever done in a year is probably in close to 1.5, 1.8 million. But this is just exponentially just over the top.
And how long ago did you take the 7 Steps course?
In July.
And this is the beginning of November, so we're talking, what, 9 weeks? Because it was the end of July?
Yeah.
9 weeks to become a self-made multimillionaire. Is that correct?
Yeah. And also, you know, with the help of Arnoux through these classes, and also taking on some personal coaching with him as well.
One more question for you, Mr. Multimillionaire.
Love it, bring it.
So these 2 new clients, they're your first paying clients with the 7 Steps?
They'll be the first paying clients.
Congratulations. And then have you had any success with your clients you'd like to share?
Oh, yeah, it's been really good. So, you know, they come to you with some of the problems. I need breakthrough, you know, and I talk to them, I know them, and they're like, I'm struggling financially, just trying to get my mind through business. They're business owners as well, and in romance, like just life, you know, relationship. And so I'll give you one example. There's this one gal. She's like, and I was like, oh my, how is this going to happen? We were sitting down, we started going through the process, 7 Steps, and she's like, oh my gosh, my arm is just killing me. And her body was she was breathing, right, just squirming in her chair. And she goes, Scott, I don't get it, man. My arm is not getting better. It's gone from my chest to my neck to my head, now to my arm, and I can't get rid of it. And I'm starting to think, oh wow, this is going on for a long time. And I was getting a little worried too. And so I said, no, we just got to keep pressing on. And so eventually, I worked with her for about 2.5 hours. And right towards the end, all of a sudden it broke. She goes, oh my gosh. She goes, I don't know what's going on, but my pain in my shoulder, my arm is completely gone. I said, this is awesome. And then right then we just started filling in with the affirmations, I ams and I haves. And she has been off the chart since. And then one other opportunity I had this last week, I had a business meeting in Laguna Beach. And so I really don't know this guy too well, but he's very analytical, very positive guy, but he says, I have a problem with intuition and fear. So I said, intuition? I go, so what is attached with that? I go, how do you feel? how do you feel, with fear, anxiety, whatever it is? And he says, I feel like it's fear. And I said, great, let's break it off right now. And so he sent me a text the next morning. He says, hey man, I just want to let you know that all my back pain's gone and I feel totally different.
Wow.
So it's been amazing.
Good job, Scott. Great job. You're welcome.
The results and benefits of our training are only available to members of our private association. To learn more, call 877-680-8200 or visit TotalHealthMasteryUSA.com/7 steps.